So, hi, Kerry. Thank you for coming to chat to me. So let's kick things off. So, why did you decide to become a celebrant? Let's start there.
Um, for different reason, I've been to loads of funerals, but in the last 3 years, I had been present at about 10, and there was a few that were utterly beautiful, and the celebrant humanist was able to bring the person in the room, and it was like a warm hug. And then I had my great auntie's one at the beginning of last year. And I sat there feeling like this woman was a complete stranger to me. And I felt so angry. Um, and after speaking at a couple of funerals, I was like, I don't want anyone else to be in that position. Um, I've been thinking about it for a while, and then suddenly everything just clicked. I found the company and well, the academy, and just bit the bullet and went, I can do this, and here we are.
Amazing. So, what did you do before this then?
A little bit of everything. Me, customer service, had been various things from retail, predominantly then ended up in the airport and seemed to develop a knack for being able to calm people down. Um, as you can imagine, people traveling, heightened emotions, they always need to get somewhere, and always left the conversation being friends at the end of it. So I think I was able to put my customer service heavily into reading people and, finding that bond over whichever it needs to be.
A great skill set, though, to bring to your celebrant business. How to
Yeah, I'm
manage people
finding,
in those, yeah, in those circumstances where they're feeling pressured or anxious or stressed. It's a really good skill set.
yeah, absolutely. I'm finding it quite useful to dig into that kind of mentality of this person's probably at one of the lowest points they'll ever be, and giving them that space while trying to tread around the information that you're kind of needing as well to build that trust.
Yeah. So, why did you choose to train with the Academy of Modern Celebrancy?
See, it's for a humanist, and I didn't quite feel that that was the right fit for me. And then just kept appearing in searches that I was doing, and then I was like, right, I'm going to have a look. This is like starting to well, not annoy me, but like be at the back of my mind. I was like, what is this? Um, and didn't realize the difference I'm finding many people don't, and kind of felt that that spoke a bit more to me and being a bit more flexible. I mean, I'm very much my opinions don't matter. It's what that family need and what that person needs at that time. So I thought that was a better fit than boxing yourself into one. So yeah, it spoke volumes to me, and then it's been one of the best things I've done, really.
So, what was the most exciting or inspiring part of the course for you personally on this journey?
Ooh, like different ways of life. It's something that I've always been quizzical about. Every time I go somewhere and visit, I like to understand like their way of life and how they value things because there's more than just a bubble that you live in. So the coursework obviously guiding you through different cultures and different ways that they um value life and the meaning of life, I found really interesting, and I kind of then went on my own little tangent into that when I did that module. So
Yeah,
it
it's
kind of,
great. It's addictive, isn't it? Once you start on something, you want to know more.
yeah, and I'm finding like my Google, um this must be crazy right now if you look at it, but you go down this rabbit hole of being so curious. Um, and then obviously finding out the amazing community that is within the funeral industry, not just colleagues of Celebrancy, but the funeral directors, their assistants, the people at the crematorium. They are some of the most loveliest people I've ever came across. Um, and I don't think they really get the recognition that they deserve either. So that's nice to kind of portrayed the family at the same time.
So, how did the AMC support your learning and your development?
Ooh, that is extremely flexible. So I still worked full time. Um, and the information, even just at the beginning, before you even sign up, answers a lot of questions that you might have. And then as you kind of go into it, there's the fantastic community page on Facebook, which when I first kind of thought, I was like, another Facebook page. But it is the support just on there alone, even before you've met any of the mentors like yourself, is just amazing. 'Cause everybody jumps on and answers questions if they've been in that position. So you don't go long without an answer. And then obviously you get then guided by your mentor when you reach that stage of your coursework as well. And again, within that same day, you're getting an answer if you have any questions. Because obviously they have their stuff that they do during the day as well. So it's kind of like having, I don't know if a million mums is the kind of it's like when you have that burning question, everyone can answer it for you, which is just fantastic.
Yeah, that's really good. It's a really, really supportive community in that group.
Yeah.
So, is there anyone from the AMC team you'd like to give a little shout out to and why?
Um, well, I would say yourself for one, you're always providing information within the Facebook groups and stuff and any queries, whether it be an issue with people's logins or whatever and stuff like that, to answering physical questions as well. My mentor, Julie, he was just so amazing. And within minutes of speaking with her, she got immediately the type of person that I was, how I kind of gathered information. Um, so she was able to adapt the kind of language that she used and stuff to suit me and how I understood it. Even just a short 10-minute phone call. And I was able to completely get what she was meaning if I'd misread something or so yeah, I don't think I would have got through that without freaking out if it was.
So, where are you now on your Celebrant journey? How has your life changed since you took on this training?
I I graduated in September/October. Um, went round all the funeral directors and all in everywhere here in Aberdeen in November. Um, started my first one in January, which got delayed by some very heavy snow, which kind of freaked me out a bit. Again, I saw this as a sign of what are we doing. Um, but since then, I have been averaging 4 or 5 a month. At one point, I had three in a week. Don't advise to anyone who is also working full time. That was a lesson learned. Um, and now I am in a position where I am coming out of full time work and starting to do a bit more flexibility so that I can push more on my new career, which is being a funeral celebrant.
So, what sort of ceremonies are you conducting now?
Oh, I've had a good mix. I've had quite a few of the elderly just after Christmas, obviously still being in the height of bug season and things. I've had a few that have been through addiction. I've had a few where it's been long time illnesses. My latest one was a 10-year battle of cancer. Um, male, female. I've had one where the family member I was dealing with was also trans. Um, so obviously having to have in the back of your mind the language that you're using and making sure you've got the correct references so you don't obviously upset them further. That was a not a challenge, but it was a good kind of insight into again other people's way of life. Um, and yeah, not had the opportunity to do a child yet. That may come. But yeah, mostly adults at the moment.
And so are most of your ceremonies in the crematorium or chapels?
Um, I've done three burials. Um, Most of them have been at the crematorium. However, there are two companies within Aberdeen that have their own chapels, and then they're taken to the crematorium. I done one a couple of weeks ago, which was a bit back to front, which was a bit of a learning curve. They did a closed burial with the family, and then they had the service actually at the hotel where they were having the tea. So the funeral director was very limited in their involvement, which was very, very scary. Not having that fallback to like what we're doing here. But it went amazingly well. The hotel staff were great. The only thing I learned from that was the steps for me to come off of the stage was put at the wrong side of the room. So had I left, I would have walked across the slideshow. So I just politely stood, and then I didn't realize that the slideshow was proceeding for three songs. So I just had to kind of stand and politely, but I could still see the laptop of the photos, so I could still see it without having to crane my neck and be quite respectful at the same time.
So what's been your most interesting or memorable ceremony that you've conducted so far then, in just these short few months already?
Ooh, there's two that kind of stand out. One for a personal reason, which was the lady happened to have the same name as my grandmother, um, and also a very avid fan of Emmerdale. So as we were kind of talking through it, I found a lot of similarities between myself and the family member. Um, and we came across this kind of running joke of you were kind of kicked out the house for Emmerdale starting, or as I nickname it with my grandma, it's church. Because she doesn't miss it. She gets very angry. So collectively, because of that joke, we decided that the exit music was going to be the Emmerdale theme tune. And we made a little kind of joke reference at the end. And then I partially joked to my grandma that I've partly written her eulogy. Which I'm not sure she appreciated. Um, the second one I would say would be the first one that I did was actually through um drug abuse and alcohol abuse. He died on his 60th birthday. Um, when I was speaking to the family, they kind of neglected to tell me that his granddaughter was going to be there, who was only 6. So the son said he was fine with the reference of drugs put in there. However, when I kind of seen that she was going to be there, I swiftly changed it on the spot because I didn't feel that that was appropriate. And then I took him aside at the end and he was like, "Do you know what? I didn't even think thank you for that." Um, so that kind of reinforced my ability to myself, which I found quite not necessary, but knowing that I can do that if need be, that kind of sticks with me.
And it's a lesson learned for the next time, isn't it, as well, that you can do that.
Yes. And also remember to ask about young children, given certain circumstances.
So, what advice would you give to somebody considering celebrant training at this point?
Do it. Do it. If there's signs out there, do it. I'd been thinking about it heavily for the last 4 or 5 years. Um, but I kind of had a little bit of doubt in myself and kind of felt that people wouldn't get it. They wouldn't understand why. And then I signed up and then I started to tell everyone, and everyone just said that makes perfect sense for you. Um, and I managed to do it within just short of 6 months. Still working full time. Um, the support's there, the advice is there, everything is on the website. You can do it at your own pace. I was doing modules while I was cooking dinner. Um, I was listening to some of like the audio things as I was cleaning. You can multitask for some of it. Don't think you don't have the time. You'll find the time because as you get past that second module, it then ends up consuming you. Um, but in a good way. You want to be on your modules. You want to find the time to do it. Um, and for anyone that might be doubting themselves, yes, your first one's scary. Stuff will go wrong. You'll say the wrong word. I've messed up a very Scottish poem, shamedly. Um, but it's fine. Nothing happens. Um, so just do it. Yeah, go for it.
So, what are your plans now then for the rest of this year in terms of your Celebrant business?
Now kind of easing on the work front, there is because some of the funeral homes and FDs aren't open at a weekend or they're not available because they're only on call. My aim is to get out to outside the city and get a chance to meet them. That's the only thing I haven't been able to do as of yet. Um, so I've still got, for anyone who's not familiar with the area, we've got Aberdeenshire, we've got further afield if I want to. Um, we've got two beautiful crematoriums here. And then obviously there's also other celebrants and humanists that I've not managed to meet up with either to build my own community within the city. I've not managed to do that either. So to have that bigger community so that I can then put my brand and myself more forward, knowing now that I've got that base work and that reference. And I've got some lovely feedback from families as well. Some point look into the website. It can seem a bit overwhelming, all the do's you've got to do. Again, you find the time, everything slots in time. So it's just getting those lined up.
So, if anybody's watching this and they want to come and find you, how can they find you online?
At the moment, I am only on Facebook and Instagram. Hopefully have a website by the summer. I have chosen to go by KLF ceremonies because that's just my initials. And on there, I have my email address. You can do the messenger for my number. Um, you can obviously look at the feedback that I've had from my family, some poems that I've found that are that go down very well with people as well. Anyone who's already part of the community, there's Messenger as well. A few other celebrants have actually reached out to me for a bit of advice that they're working full time as well. So it's just, yeah, reach out to me, have a conversation. It's the best way to find out more. Have that conversation.
Absolutely. You don't know what you don't know, right? And it's always important to
Exactly.
ask. It's been lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time. I'm so excited for what lies ahead for you. And obviously, you're making that big transition between the day job and celebrancy is the next exciting thing. Thank you for your time and thank you for sharing your experience here with the Academy with us.
Thank you very much for having me, Penny. Thank you.